Welcome to our new home, everybody. So I'm Tyler.
I'm Molly.
And if you haven't followed along our van progress and build and things like that, you might not know. But we have been working at this for 6 months?
5 months.
5 months now to make our little home on wheels possible. And it is finally ready for a van tour.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll take you around everything today and show you what we got going on and let you see what's going to happen with us over the next year. I don't know, year, whenever we decide.
What our plans are.
But yeah, so if you're ready, Moles,
sure.
We'll get going.
Also, if you guys haven't been following us, we have our pup Moose, and he's a Doberman Pinscher that's 1, so you'll see him throughout the videos. But most of the time, he'll probably be sleeping, honestly. The build, so do we want to tell them how long it took?
We just did.
No, like hours.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, do you remember the amount?
It was somewhere between 500 and 600.
Yeah, here, hold on. So the build was a total of 27 whole days working. So that's how many hours to times 24 times 27. So that's how many hours it took to do the build.
The quick math is coming out, huh?
I don't know what that is. So it's probably, I don't even know. But anyway, it took us a very long time. We worked 7 to 8 hours a day on this van on weekends when we went home during the whole semester and when we were home for the summer. It's been a lot, but we finally have our little home, and we welcome you.
Yeah. So we're ready to do this van tour, right? And we'll show you all the cool things that we got, and
we have a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and
well,
all the space that we're taking up.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get going.
So the first things first is I'm going to tell you about our awesome lights that we have. They're not usually what other people have in the van, but we think they're the best things ever. They came with this little remote, and I think all 6 were like $20 for the whole package, so it was a really good deal. Anyway, but our first set of lights was these solar lights. So you blow them up, and then you can like put them like this or however you choose, but they can only charge by the sun. And as you guys know, the sun is not reliable. Like today it's snowing and it's just not a good day. So of course there's not going to be any sun. And so during the van build we ran out of like the lights every single day because it wasn't sunny, and we got really frustrated because you don't want to get in the van and dig around and things to find your lights. You just want to click the lights on and be done. And our other option was that we could put actual lights like down the center through electrical wire and everything and hook it to our box and all that stuff. But that was so much work that we just didn't want to go through it. So instead I found these cool lights on Amazon. And if you want to see how they work, so you can either like do that or use the remote, but you'll take them off and charge them like a phone in an outlet, so they're rechargeable and they're not battery powered, and then you just twist them back on, maybe. So I'll show you guys how it works, and these aren't just like any old lights. So this is their regular like setting. Now you can make them brighter, so there's like a dimming on here, or you can make them less bright. But the awesome thing is you can make them red.
Ooh.
You can make them green.
Oh.
You can make them blue, purplish, yellow, a darker blue, or pink. Okay guys, so next we're going to start with everything on this cabinet, like counter cabinet. So this, we decided to put everything Moose has in here. So we have like dog treats that he loves. These are his favorite. We have frisbees, his long leash to play when we can't have him off leash. Some like all natural bug spray. So that's his little area. And we decided to put it up there just because it's convenient. He's always needing it just like a baby needs their diaper bag.
And he also can't reach in there.
Yeah.
He's tall, but not that tall.
So, and then we also have this cute little, well, I guess it's not cute yet, but a photo grid. So on that we will use it for pictures of us. So we are going to get this little printer that we can print little Polaroids off and put those up there. And every time we go to a national park, instead of collecting ornaments or gifts, we're going to collect the little like patches, and so we're going to stick them up there and hopefully have 50 of them, or I think 62 by the time we're done. And then we also have this national parks map, and it's really cool because it shows you where every national park is in the U.S. and then a checklist. So when we go, we can check them off, and that is going to be really cool and awesome. So that's our 2 things up here. And then up next, we have this little square box. It's actually just a cardboard box that some of our security things came in. That's just for little things like our remotes, our keys. But over here is like our security system hub. So we actually have Simply Safe in this van, and that's usually a home security system, but this is our home. A lot of van lifers use this system, and we need to be safe no matter where we're at. So what we'll do is, this is the home base. So we plug this in, and then this is the keypad. So I actually set the alarm off while I was setting it up, and you have to remember your password to get the alarm to go off or to do anything. So that's what you do here, and you better remember your password or else you're not going to be able to sleep at night. Anyway, but this is a carbon monoxide monitor and a thermometer. Well, thermostat, it's 38 right now, but usually it's 60 here in the van, and we just don't have anything on. And then this is a glass breaking sensor and a temperature sensor. So if glass breaks or somebody breaks in, or the temperature goes too high or too low, we get a notification on our phone that says, like, hey, this is happening, get back to the van in case we leave Moose in here, because this is going to allow us to leave Moose in the van if we're on a hike for like an hour, usually not any longer than that, but he'll have his little home and he'll be safe with his air conditioning, our heat, and we'll know the temperature at all times. Now on all of the doors, which I'll show you back there later, well I guess it's the same, we have these little sensors. So they're kind of like a magnetic attraction, so when you open the door, every door has it, and it will alert the home base and says like, hey, like a door is open, and we'll get an alert on our phone again. So it's really cool, and if any of this stuff like goes off, say glass breaks, the temperature goes down, or the door's open, an alarm will sound if we do not respond to it in 30 seconds. So that is really awesome. So next is our sink and little counter. So we're actually going to put a pillar here, but that just didn't work out because of the slant of the van. So instead we have an awesome countertop, our sink, that's a stainless steel 15 by 15, our hand soap, and then this is our filtered water. So this is a Brita filter, Brita filter, and so we can have purified water anywhere, anytime. So that's really awesome. But this works like this, and then we can fill it up, we can put it outside, and the cool thing is this moves. So anytime we need to move it around, and then I will actually show you guys. So we ended up going with a hand pump, or a foot pump, but it's actually here so we can use our knees instead of it being on the floor. And then this is our water tank that's fresh, and this is our gray water tank. So anything that soap goes into, food pieces, which I hope is not, like, any like runoff water goes in here, and we'll dump it at an appropriate dump site. But you turn this on there, and then there's our water.
I'm gonna put a little more effort into it when we're actually running dishes, I hope, but
and then you just turn it off. It's a little different than most people, but it works for us. And then here's our water for our actual drinking. We have our 3 doors, whatever you want to call them. So this is our first one. And actually, so we don't have a stovetop that stays out all the time, just because we don't have a lot of counter space. We have a 136, so it's not like we have extra room. And with Moose, we don't really want something that could stay up there and he potentially breaks or something. So we went with this, and what's really cool is it only gets hot on this space and stays hot only when our pans are on there. It's kind of like a magnetic, but we'll just plug that in, cook our stuff, and put it back in. So it's very nice. And then we, once again, had to have something small, and we can't have all this large stuff, so we got collapsible measuring cups, and I cannot wait to use them. But we have that, and then magnetic teaspoons and tablespoons to keep them together instead of all over the drawer. We also have these collapsible food containers, which we usually try not to have a lot of extra food just because it takes up space and we don't have that in the van, but just in case. But they fold out and they are 100% like silicone, so they're safe and unlike other plastics, which is very important in this little household. Okay, we are going to talk about the plates now. So I was going to go with bamboo, but I actually like these ceramic ones better. The reason why we decided to go with ceramic, which isn't great for a van, because, I mean, they can break, but we have these little sticky pads between them so they don't cling together. But I chose these because in the last month I became a certified holistic nutritionist, and food blogging is very important to me, and I'm going to be creating recipes all the time for my cookbook, hopefully, that I will have out in like years down the road. So we have these ceramic plates so I can take really nice pictures. And then the bowls are the same. And then the only other thing in here is we have reusable straws because, once again, we do not like to have a lot of plastic around. This little thing is going to be our best friend. We can scrape our excess food off and put it in the trash or compost it or something instead of having it like scrubbing and taking extra water. Okay, and then down here, ouch.
Gotta make room.
Down here is our fridge. You can make it either a fridge or a freezer, but yeah. And we went with the pull-out fridge just because it can be tilted and we don't have to worry about that, and it doesn't take up a lot of space. Finally, this is our toilet area. So it just swings open, and it's actually connected to the electric because there's a fan in it all the time. We will be doing a whole video on the toilet, but it's a composting toilet. So basically, no smell, like no gross stuff. So yeah, we'll tell you later. But the one cool thing is that, and like, we'll show you how the fan works and everything, but with this, you can use regular toilet paper, but I got bamboo toilet paper, and I know you guys probably think it's weird, but I'm excited.
Yeah, she's literally excited about this.
Yeah, I saw it in the store, and I got really excited, and we were at like a hardware store. It was embarrassing. Anyway, but it's hypoallergenic, it's very absorbent, and the good thing is it's chlorine-free and biodegradable. So that is my favorite thing about it. It's not wasting, like, the earth away. The last thing about this is that we have insulated it in here because for some reason this little spot got really cold, and we're not really sure why. We think it's where because the fan goes through the bottom of the van, so there's a hole, so it's just a little colder. So we insulated it and it solved our problems. But now to you, Ty. Okay.
And then since Molly had to talk about the lower cabinets, I'm going to take time to talk about the upper cabinets. So this is our kitchen cabinets, if you want to call them that. So up here we have a bunch of stuff. We got it kind of all over the place. This is all of our sauces, spices, seasonings, things like that. Then we have some nesting pots and pans. So this like opens up, and we have a smaller pot and smaller pans and things like that. So that's really cool. And then we have another bowl here that we can use for mixing things and whatever.
And it also goes as like it has a grater in the middle, so that's kind of cool.
Are you getting me in this shot too?
Yeah.
Oh wow. I didn't know if you could or not. Okay, and now the doors are kind of interesting because we've seen people like buy little cabinet doors from like medicine cabinets or things like that, and then just put them on here sideways. And I really like that idea, but because of COVID and everything like that, we weren't really just going to just go to a garage sale and buy something. Mm-hmm. So instead, Molly had the awesome idea to buy craft boards, which is like what these are here. And then we just put a 1/4-inch plywood on the back side, if you can kind of see it's connected here. And then that's how we made our doors. It's really easy. And then we put handles on it. We really like having them on there because it just makes them easier to open. And then we installed these catchers too because with all of this food right here, the last thing we want is to have all of it come flying open when we turn a corner. So we have these catchers on here to hold that back as well. But yeah, so we made every single door in this and everything. So it's really awesome.
Cabinets included.
Yeah, everything in here is made by us, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And then here we have a shelf. We have like our first aid kit here, Moose's first aid kit here. I guess we need our hearts checked a lot, so Molly's stethoscope there. Yeah, so we made that on top of our column because we could have continued it all the way up, but the curve was a little difficult to figure out.
Yeah.
And we also thought, what's wrong with a little more space for shelving?
And thanks, Mom, for the idea.
Yes, thank you, Kelly, for that. But yeah, so that's that. And then back here we have our upper cabinets. So mine's here. Don't be fooled, this big red bag is just boots and shoes. So I really don't have that much stuff in here.
Yeah, it's just hiking stuff.
Yeah, but I have all my clothes in here. And then and then Molly on her side has all of her clothes. This is all clothes in here. So she's got all of her stuff here. Her chargers and things like that are back there.
And I have some books back there.
Two books. Don't say some books like she's some kind of scholar. But yeah, so she's got 2 books that I just got her for Christmas in there as well.
We did a book exchange.
Yeah, we did a book exchange because we knew we were going to be watching much TV now. But yeah, so that's the upper cabinets, and then we'll move on to electric and water. But yeah, so now we have our bed. So this is really awesome. Molly found a mattress on Amazon for not really cheap, but pretty cheap compared to some mattresses, and it's 6-inch memory foam. So she cut it up into all these different sections, which I will show you now. But yeah, so she cut these up into all these different sections. What's really cool now is that we have the option to go into lounge mode whenever we're not sleeping.
And so, most people, they decide to take it to some place to get it upholstered, but I actually did that myself to save a lot of money, and these are just sheets from Target, so that saved us like hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, so now we're in lounge mode. This is our table that we're actually going to work at. So now what we're going to do is pick it up, and we'll be able to like actually set it on our lagoon, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's all said and done. But yeah, so I'll do that really quick. And so, like I said, this is our lagoon stand. So it's pretty nice. We just had to put a little plate onto our bench here. And then we have 2 pieces, so they move independently of each other. So if I wanted to really make this thing so I could swivel it like crazy, I can. And then this is just a piece as well that holds it sturdy. But yeah, so this is really cool. And then what I'm going to do now is throw our table on here. So gotta stick it down in that little spot. And then tighten this up, like so. And now we have a table that can move like this and like this. All that really cool stuff. But yeah, so this is how our table is. I actually made this myself as well, just by using some 1x4s. I just put 2 on the edge and then pocket screwed them on the back sides. And it holds really well. And that's kind of how our situation works for business mode.
I'll come sit. And then, like, I stained this, and it actually turned out really similar, and we were really excited about how similar it came out to this countertop.
Yeah, so this is what Molly gets to see for the next, like, year and a half, 2 years of her life now. But yeah, so this is kind of how this is going to work for when we do road work or things like that, whenever we're needing to do something for our jobs. We can have that here.
Or school for college.
Yeah, or school. But yeah, so that's kind of how this works. It's pretty cool. And then we will move on to electric. We just lift them up. I drilled a hole so we can put our fingers in it. And now we have all of our goodies for electric. Let me turn the lights on here. But yeah, so this is where all of our electric stuff is. This is definitely the most daunting task of the whole build, at least for me. Because it's not something that you can just kind of do good enough. It has to be right. So we did this, and it was really hard, but it'll be its own separate video as well. But it's really nice to have it all set and ready to go. And we actually have 300 watts of solar power coming in, which is a lot more than you might think we need, because all we're running is a fridge and a fan and our toilet fan, and that's really all we need electricity for. But we have our induction burner that Molly already showed you that actually can use up to 1,000 watts of power in one sitting. So that will drain our batteries like crazy, so we overshot big time for that. And I'm really excited to see how that's going to act on here. But yeah, so that's why we have so much energy and things like that in here. But it's a really nice thing to have, and we'll move on to water now. For the final piece of showmanship, this is our water tank. We can hold 25 extra gallons in here. That's going to be really nice when we don't want to stop and fill up our 7-gallon jerry can all the time or anything like that. So we're going to come in here and we can fill this up and then use it for that, or put it into our water filter for drinking water, as long as it's actual potable water. That's kind of what's in here. It's just kind of a big space, obviously, for 25 gallons. And then I won't pick them up, but back here we also have 3 more cubbies. And this cubby right here, we have more water stuff, hoses, connectors, things like that. And then, let me move this monstrosity here. In the middle piece here, which you can't really even see, is Moose's stuff, where we have like his food takes up a majority because he's 105 pounds. You'll see him in our later videos. So he takes up a lot of space with his food. But we have food there, window coverings, small things that can kind of fit in the cracks of where the food is left. And then this right here is where we have a lot of wiring for our solar that's running through, as well as...
And so all of our emergency stuff for if the car breaks down or we have issues.
Yeah, if we need something on the road, then we can do that.
Okay guys, so I'm going to tell you about our emergency items. So we have an emergency kit for the car that has a bunch of stuff in it, like jumper cables and like a glass fixing thing for the windshield, but we'll get you like a more in-depth video of that later. There is also a candle in there that is soy that will burn like 120 hours in case like we lose power or something goes wrong. A rechargeable lighter in there, and we have a cool little block that's about this size. You can charge your phone on there if needed. And then the coolest thing is it's like basically kind of like an air compressor, but it's not. It fills your tires up, so it can fill our tires up if needed, and it's rechargeable, so we have this tiny little, I guess, air compressor that's just miniature, so if we ever run into an issue. But that's that. And then real quick, we put another plug right here, and then this switch is for the inverter, so if we want to turn off our power in the van and not have to worry about that, we just flip that on and off, and then we are fine.
That's the van tour, everybody. Hope you enjoyed seeing our little home on wheels. We'll go more in depth about a bunch of different things like our toilet, our electricity, our water tank, things like that, where it's like more in depth. What?
This one is squeezing. Okay, I cannot. Okay.
Alright. So, anyway, that is kind of our van tour, what our little home is going to look like for the next year and a half, 2 years.
Okay.
Alright, and now we got our bed. That was like a dramatic rising. I don't know why, but I thought it'd be funny.
Okay, guys, second try. As I cannot talk.
They don't know this is your second try.
This is another blooper. Okay. My puffy coat is in the way.
I know.
Okay, guys. I forgot I was supposed to go.
I couldn't tell you sat there. Do you want me to do it?
Okay, guys, so that... I cannot.
I'll talk first. How's that sound?
Yes.